Yai dai, yai dai, dai, yai dai, 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 dai. Yai dai, 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 do, dai, yai. Yai dai, 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 do, dai, 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 dai. Yai dai, 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 dai. Yai dai, 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 dai. Yai dai, dai, dai. Yai dai, dai. Yai dai, yai dai, dai, yai dai, dai. Yai dai, 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 yai dai, dai, yai dai. Yai dai, yai dai, dai, yai dai, dai. Yai dai, 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 yai dai, dai, dai. Yai dai, 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 yai dai, dai. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, Carl. As Carl plays the melodies of the Pesach Cedar, this Shabbat has a special name, Shabbat Hagadol, the Great Shabbat, the Shabbat before liberation, the Shabbat before Pesach, as we prepare to enter into the repose of Shabbat with the expectation of gathering tomorrow night for Pesach. Page 10.
Yedid nefesh av harachaman mishoch avdach el retzonach yarutz avdach kimo aya yishtachavemu hadara ki erev lo yedidu tach minofen tzuv vechotam hadunah ziv haolam nafshi cholat avatach ana elna rifana la beharola nom ziva az titchazek v'titrapeh והייתה לך שפחת עולם. ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה 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 די די ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai yada dai 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 yada yada. Kabbalat Shabbat, our first psalm of Kabbalat Shabbat, invites us to all come ahead and sing. Let's go sing. Lechud niranina, lechud niranina, lechud niranina, ladonai. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Tzui Shenu, Nikadma Fanav, Bitoda. Naria, Naria, Litzui Shenu, Spitz me'orot Narialo, Lechu niranina, Lechu niranina, Lechu niranina, l'Adonai. Lechu niranina, Lechu niranina, Lechu niranina, l'Adonai. Ki gadol Adonai u'melech gadol al kol. 40 שנה אקוט בידור ואומר עמתו אל לבביהם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי ויפים יבואון אל מנוחתי. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai yai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai yai dai, yai dai dai yai, yai dai yai dai, yai dai yai dai. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני בחשימו, בסרו מיום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי עמים אלילים ואדוני שמיים עשה, הוד והדר לפניו עוד בתפארת במקדשו. אהבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, אהבו לאדוני קו ובעוז, אהבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו. השתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש. יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, יעלו שדי, יאי די 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 יאי, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, יעלו שדי, יאי די 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 די. אז ירננו כל עצי יער, אז ירננו כל עצי יער, אז ירננו כל עצי יער, אז ירננו כל עצי יער. יעלוז שדי וכל אשר בו, יעלוז שדי, איי די איי איי איי. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו. Our Psalm for Tuesday, found on page 15. Adonai malach tageh haaretz, yismechu im rabim anav וערפל סביבו צדק ומשפט נכון כיסו אש לפניו תלך אולי סביב צרה העירו ורקב תבל ראתה תחר הארץ הרים Page 16. Oh, Zaruva la Tzadik, Olishve lev simcha, Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, V'hodu lezecher kodsho. Yai rai 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 Yai rai 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 Yai rai 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 Yai rai 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 Our Wednesday Psalm, found on page 17. Sing to Adonai a new song, for Adonai has worked wonders. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, ki niflaot hasa, Hoshia lo yaminos roakocho. Yai rai rai yai rai 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 yai rai rai yai rai 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 yai rai rai yai rai yai rai yai rai rai yai rai yai rai Call out to Adonai, all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the guitar. Guitar and voices making music together with horns and shofar cries. Trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai. Let the sea and all that is in it roar, the earth and all who inhabit it thunder. Let rivers clap hands while mountains sing in harmony. Greeting Adonai who comes to judge the earth, judging the world with justice and the nations with truth. Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim mesharim. On page 20 is our Thursday Psalm. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name, called to you, and you answered them. Moshe v'Aaron b'chohanav, u'Shmuel b'korei shmo, korim el Adonai v'hoyaneim b'amud anan yidaber alehem shamru edotav v'chot natan lamo. Adonai Eloheinu Ata Anitam Elosei Aita Lahem V'nokem Al Alilotam. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu V'eshtachavu lehakodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu V'eshtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Page 21. Mizmor leDavid. Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim. Havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz. Havu l'Adonai kivod shemo. Ishtachavu l'Adonai b'adrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim il hakavod hirim. Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach. Kol Adonai behadar. Kol Adonai shover harazim. Vayashaber Adonai raze havanon. Vayakidem kemo egel Levanon. Ve'sirion kemo ven reimim. Kemo ven reimim. Kol Adonai chotzet lavotesh. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yechol hayalot. Vayechesov yarod vechalo. Kulo omer kavod. Kulo omer kavod. Adonai lamabul yashav. Vayeshev Adonai melech liolam. Adonai yoz li'amo yitein. Adonai yevorech et amo v'shalom. Yai dai dai yai yai dai yai dai yai dai dai yai yai dai yai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai. Having recited our Friday psalm, we're ready to greet the Shabbos Queen, the Shabbos Bride. Lecha Dodi, page 23. Lecha Dodi, lecha kala yadada yavabai yavabai b'nei Shabbat nikabilai. Hai lecha Dodi, lecha kala yavabai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabilai. Shamo v'zachu b'diborecha. Hishmihanu el hamayuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi lecha kala yavabai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabilai. Lecha Dodi lecha kala yavabai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabilai. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor habaracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshava tehila. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה יבבי, 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 בני שבת יקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה יבבי, 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 בני שבת יקבלה. מקדש מלך, עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך הפכה, רב לך שבן בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לכלה יבבי, 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 בני שבת מקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה יבבי, יבבי, בני שבת מקבלה. Page 25. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה, והיו למשיסה שעושי ורחקו, כה מבולי יצולייך אלוהי כסוס חתן, על כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת מקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי, ועל יד איש בן פרצי ואני שמחה, ונגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת מקבלה. We face the doorway to greet the Shabbos bride. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. יאידה 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 On page 27 is our Psalm for Shabbat. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך היום, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. צדיק כתמר יפרח, כרז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינובון בסבב, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולתה בו. עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נאוות קודש אדוני ליאורך ימים. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 30, those in mourning or observing a yahrzeit, as I am, for my dear departed mother 10 years ago. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi,
Amen.
v'yalma divra kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, Ba'agala v'zman kariv yimaru.
Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olmeo maya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'yimaru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimaru. Amen.
Amen.
Our teacher, Rabbi Spitz.
Thank you, Carl. Shabbat Hagadol, the great Shabbat. That will be a part of our Haftorah traditionally for tomorrow on this, the Shabbat before Pesach, a Haftorah that is messianic. For if God could take us as a people from bondage, then we who still live in a broken world have reason to hope that our history is a spiral that rises to a higher place. That, the image of a spiral, is very different than, for instance, the Greek world that saw history as not unlike the seasons, as circular. The idea of the Jewish tradition, going back to those same period of time as the Greek period, with this notion of a messianic trajectory, is that when we come back 1 year later to the same point, we are 1 year closer to redemption. 1 year ago, Carl, Cedar, and I led Cedar by Zoom. It was new to us, this technology. We had somebody come into the office, and we sat opposite each other at the desk so that we could be in sync. And we're delighted to find that well over 80 screens, which means 80 families in many cases, were sharing as a community the Seder. So first I want to remind you of this opportunity this year. Sunday is the second Seder. Carl and I will be doing a second Seder experience, not the whole thing. You're responsible for your own dinner and finding and hiding and then finding the Afikomen. But to share in the melodies like tonight with Carl is to feel uplifted. I'll do some teaching. Rabbi Funberg will do some teaching. 6 to 7:15 with some extra readings. We will, as a community, complement what we did the first night. 1 year later, when we did the Seder last year, it was novel. And at the time, it was an unknown how much longer that coronavirus would be around. You may recall that that first shutdown in the middle of March was for 3 weeks. We thought that as a community, if we all united, we could squelch it. Well, obviously, that didn't happen. Though it is different. This year, we do, many of us, though not all, have vaccines that opens the door a bit, though not fully. Meaning, this year, when we say all who are hungry come and eat, we're very careful who we're inviting in. And that's understandable. We live in a time of uncertainty. And so, this year, for most of us, our gatherings will not be what we were used to in the past, much more limited in who are our guests. And that is with some sadness, because we still long for the Seder as the time of gathering. The rabbis ask, how long was it from the first plague to the 10th plague? And I will add, the Seder is on the eve before departure in the Bible. It's chapter 12 of Exodus, and one way you might prepare for the Seder is rereading chapter 12. That's the night of trepidation. The rabbis say that the angel of death will be in Egypt on that night before the Exodus. And it's not a night you leave your house. For once death is circulating, you must sequester. You don't take chances. Death, as it moves among the homes, doesn't necessarily distinguish between people, but it can distinguish between homes in which people are sequestered. And so, back to chapter 12. There they are, the night before, around a table with roasted lamb, told that that night there would be the 10th plague, and they would leave in the morning. But how long was it from the first plague to this moment? It doesn't say in the Bible. The rabbis assert, as one of the midrashim, the imaginings, that a full year had passed. Now, I pause to say a full year has passed with COVID now. We didn't know how long it would be, and frankly, sadly, we don't know how much longer before indeed our departure in a free way into our streets, into our stores, into Disneyland. We don't know how long before we do so unbridled. And so on this night, Shabbat HaGadol, the Shabbat before the departure, there is a sense of, I've been there, done that. It's been plague after plague, count them, 9. And here we are, still in Egypt. And we can't help but feel, after month after month after month, in which the plague did not just go away, that when will it end? And so a closing thought. Shabbat HaGadol, the great Sabbath I mentioned, is a haftorah that is messianic. It's a haftorah that builds on the collective history that we did leave slavery. We did move to new beginnings. We did ultimately reach the promised land. And with that, we know that history moves in a trajectory that unfolds, though with starts, to freedom. Ribono Shalom, Master of the universe. Here we are, Shabbat HaGadol, the night before our Seders. Heaven knows we would wish to have a Seder with a table filled with family and friends and even strangers. But this Pesach too, it will be more limited. This Pesach will be a little bit more adept at the technology. And we will perhaps gather as families with Zoom before or after. But next year, God, may we be free. May we gather with unbridled from any fears. Amen.
Amen. Our call to prayer, page 39a in Lev Shalem. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai 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 dai dai, yai dai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Voed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch Atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk.
Umavdil yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom ben laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo. Yechai v'kayam, tamid yumloch aleinu li'olam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Hamari v'aravi.
Amen. Page 40.
Avad olam Beit Yisrael Amachavto Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadatan Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu v'kumeinu נשיח בחוקיך ונזמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ויורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל 41 Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, וים שמותיהם מצוותיי אשר
נפשכם. ונדעים נצחם הקוש וסר רגעים וצריך אחות וסבתה אישל בנותך.
Adonai Elohechem, Amen. Page 43b and 44. Let's read together in English. You proclaimed the covenant on the seventh day. You declared it and decreed it. We listened and heard it. You loved this day we inherited, delighting in its remembrance, and began its command with the word, remember, Zachor. From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Jeshurun, the people you redeemed, securing the cause of righteousness. You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed, on the seventh day you rested, and on this day, Israel, your people rest. To honor your name they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise, willingly accepting God's sovereignty. Then Moses, Miriam, and the people Israel joyfully sang to you, who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, adorned in holiness, revered in praise, working wonders? They sang Michamocha, Michamocha, Bailim Adonai, Mikamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, Osei Chele, Nora Tehilot, Osei Chele. מלכות חרה ובניך, בוקר ים לפני משה, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
אמן.
45. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים ועל כל יושבי תבל. Page 46. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבה וינפש. יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
ביעולמה דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו,
אמן.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר, ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה,
בריחו.
לעילם עם כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירון ביומה ויאמרו אמן.
So one thing that Shabbat table and Pesach table have in common is called in Hebrew Hadur Mitzvah, which means the beautification of a mitzvah. When you do a religious act, a Jewish expectation of relationship with God, you want to celebrate it, to make it beautiful. So people will have at their Shabbat table a beautiful cup, a becher in Yiddish, something that looks Shabbos-like, or a beautiful cloth with embroidery for the challah cover. And the challah itself being Hadur Mitzvah, a bread made more beautiful. Or the candles, Hadur Mitzvah, perhaps something purchased in Israel that again is a sense of elevating the doing of connection. Likewise, at our Passover tables, we engage in Hadur Mitzvah. It might be the Cedar plate, that's a beautiful art piece, an object of elevation. It might be the glasses that we use. Hadur Mitzvah. As we get ready now on this, the eve of Shabbat HaGadol, the Shabbat anticipating our Seder, I invite you to bring to mind one object from either your Shabbat table or your Seder that gives you a sense of connection to God, to connection to community that gives you joy. Page 47, as we recite our private prayer of the Amidah, 47 to 52.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, וימרו וימרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ויאמרו אמן. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכול אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. יתגלה ויתקדש שמי רבה, יאמר דבר קיבותיו, ימליך מלכותיו, וחייכון ובימיכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עלמיא. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשא.
בריחו.
לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו.
אמן.
תתקבל צלות הון אבות הון דכל ישראל, קדם ובהון די ושמיא ויאמרו.
אמן.
יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ויאמרו.
אמן.
ועושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ויאמרו.
Amen.
Amen.
So this afternoon, I had the privilege to participate in a Brit Milah, the ritual circumcision of welcome into covenant, with Carly and Jeff David, and a mazel tov to the David family on the new member of your family. And at the end of the ceremony, after the naming, first there is the moil, and I shout out to Dr. Matthew Greenberger, who participated as the moil in that celebration. And after I had the privilege to lead in the official naming for this newborn, who will be known in the community as Harvey Benjamin David, as Feivel Binyamin. And at the very end, to pull that celebration together, I had the parents place their hands on their newborn. And I said, tonight is Shabbat. This is your first opportunity to do the parent blessings for your son in anticipation of Shabbat. And so Carl and I, who've had years of being fathers, will lead, as is traditional, on Friday night, the blessing of children, saying for sons, may you be like Ephraim and Manasseh, and for daughters, may you be like the matriarchs, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, and then the priestly blessings from Numbers that we take on as parents, as the vehicle of blessing for our children. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may all our children be blessed to feel God's presence, leading them to a life of wholeness and a life of peace. And we say, Amen.
Kiddush. Rabbi will do Kiddush.
Savri Chavarai, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'hava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemhase v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra hekodesh, Zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Aleinu is found on page 56. Aleinu d'shabech ladon hakol, latei gedula liyotzeh breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim imahav Ushchinatu zo, begove miromim. Hu Eloheinu heinu, emet malkeinu efes zulato. Kakatu b'torato, v'yadata hayom, v'hashevota elevavecha. Ki Adonai hu Elohim. Bashamayim imah, v'aretz mitachat eino.
Ken kavel Eloheinu, l'rod me'ra b'diver zechareinu. Blessed thou shing the world, the sovereignty of the Almighty. All flesh will call out your name, even the wicked will turn toward you.
Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch li'olam vahed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
I invite those observing a yurtzeit or who are in mourning to join together with Kaddish Yatom, our community prayer honoring our loved ones who have passed. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olmeo maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitalev, Vitalal, Shemei Dekudsha Barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran Bioma Vimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael Vimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'kol Yoshvei Tevel Vimru Amen. We have a lot of celebration ahead tomorrow morning at 9:30. We're starting a half hour early tomorrow because our coastal CBI community has participated in a reading of Torah that will be shared collectively as part of our service tomorrow. So the prayers with Amy Robinson Katz will begin at 10 o'clock. Saturday night, first Cedar. Sunday morning, services at the synagogue in our courtyard for those who have already RSVP'd. We're limiting it to 30 people, socially distanced with pre-assigned seats and masks, but still a chance to be together, which is also true for a week from Sunday, the final day of Passover. Both of those Sunday services will be at 9:30. They will also be Zoomed or live streamed. So do tap in. If you did not reserve for this Sunday, time is past, but you can consider during the week next week going to our website, reserving a place for a week from Sunday. At the same time, Carl and I, Sunday night, this Sunday night, 6 o'clock to 7:15, we have gone over what we're going to be doing. It'll be a lot of singing with some of the words for you to sing along, some reading, some teaching, and communal celebration. Anything else you want to say about our...
Just happy that it's on Zoom so we can all see each other.
And what's different from last year to this is Carl and I don't have to have somebody hold our hand the same way, which means Carl and his wife Nancy, my wife Linda, and I will be in our respective homes, coming to your home as community with shared focus, seeing each other. We have this year increased our Zoom above the cap. It used to be 100. This will be much higher. There's room for you, room for your family, room for your friends. Let them know. Go to our website, cbi18.org, to get the link. All are invited.
They say that you need 10,000 hours of experience to gain expertise, right?
We are experts.
When you and I did this a year ago, we had maybe 2.5 hours of experience. Now I think we've had our 10,000 hours over the past year, and I feel very confident that of our Zoom techniques. So I look forward to sharing that with you remotely, Rabbi.
Great.
And look forward to seeing some of my cousins who I've sent the link to back east.
Oh, wonderful.
So I look forward to seeing some happy faces that I haven't seen in a while.
Wonderful.
I'd like to leave you with a blessing for your Shabbos table, that the good angel should come and visit your home this Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem Malechi Hasharim Malechi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai rai rai, yai rai rai rai, yai rai 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 rai, yai yai rai yai yai. Shabbat shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom, Carl. Shabbat shalom.